Hello everyone, welcome back to my sewing studio. This summer has been an absolute whirlwind of stitches, stories, and surprises. And I can't wait to share it with all of you. So grab your favorite quilt and settle in. Let me take you on a tour through my summer. Hi there, I'm Karen Brown of Just Get It Done Quilts. I give you tips, tricks, and strategies to help you make the quilt that you want to make. And if you like what you see, please click that subscribe button. Can you believe the summer is just about over? And if you're like me, it was a busy one. It was time to catch up with some friends and to make some new ones. Time to start some new projects and finish a couple of old ones. Time to travel and then to snuggle up at home. Take a look at this. This side of my quilt buffet is empty. Well, I packed up my baby quilts and met up with my sew buddies. We finally found a date that worked for all of us at the end of June, and we headed down to St. Michael's Hospital and their Women's Health Center to drop off all of our baby quilts. It had been 2 years since our last drop-off, so it was quite a haul. We are so happy to make them and donate them. The hospital is glad to receive them, and the new parents are very happy to take one home with their new baby. It's a win-win-win, and I've already started refilling my quilt buffet. Finally, after procrastinating for years, I have made my first garment in decades. Remember I purchased that shui fabric at Quilt Canada? Well, the skirt was a pretty fast make. First I pre-washed the panels.
Then I cut the panels apart.
And then I serged all the edges. Then I sewed them together with the bottom selvages aligned. Then I added a waistband, and adding buttonholes was easy peasy with my sewing machine. I did add a couple of belt loops, and after wearing it a couple of times, I did go back and put in some pockets. And building on that success, I decided to make another skirt out of some of my African wax prints. This was the pattern I used. I think I picked it up at my Guild's garage sale back in January. I measured my hips and thought size 18 would be the size I would follow. But once I finished the front piece with all the pockets, I realized this was never going to fit around my waist. But luckily, I had lots of fabric left over to remake the back. And now I have another skirt to wear. At the end of July, I flew to the UK and I joined Jenny Smith, Kay Walsh, and Leslie Levy for a trip to the Welsh Quilt Center in Lampeter. Walking among such rich history and artistry left me inspired beyond words. Jenny Jones, who wrote the book on Welsh quilts, had displayed the quilts in these beautiful vignettes: the nursery, the boudoir, the lady, the servant, and the miner. These bold quilts have definitely inspired me to incorporate some of their features in my future quilts. And after we had lunch at the cafe next door, there was also a 12-room quilt shop to check out. It is definitely worth the drive. This summer also brought an incredible honor. I was invited to speak at the Festival of Quilts. Sharing my quilting knowledge with a packed room of passionate makers was just a dream come true. Thank you to everyone that showed up to my talks. It was also time to meet up with old friends from my travel. I met up with John. He was on our Hawaiian cruise, and he's coming with me to Japan next year. And Judith was on my Fire and Ice cruise last year, and we had so much fun catching up. I also met up with Katie and Ben from K&B Sewing. The show itself was amazing. Tom, the colorblind quilter,
And Kristen from Scrap Fabric Love
joined me in a walk through the juried show, and we compared notes on all the different designs and styles. And as usual, the mini quilts were just mind-bogglingly intricate and tiny. Look at these points. And here's my fingertip for scale.
My favorite piece of the show has to be this rucksack by Kate Crossley. She had attached 1,000,001 things to it, and I just love the texture and the beautiful golden undertones.
I finally met Kate Jackson from the last homely house on the hill, and we had a quick conversation on the couch for her channel. And I picked up some more shui shui fabric from Urban Stacks so I can make another skirt. My Stashbuster 15 quilt, Lemonade version 2.0. Made it on the long arm just before I headed to Birmingham. I'm keeping it simple for the quilting, so I'm choosing this flame-like swirl pantograph. But I finished it when I returned. It is quite a big quilt, so if you have a last-minute wedding gift, this will work out quite well. And after manhandling it to square up, I bound it in this orange-yellow grunge that I had left over from another project. I really like how just that little bit of color on the edges of the quilt really makes those blues pop. Back when I started quilting, I used to overhear at quilt meetings and retreats, people talk about how long it took them before they actually finished binding their quilt. And I thought to myself, I would never ever let my quilts linger that long. And then last month, I found my new hexagon quilt in a pile of stuff in the corner of my bedroom. I thought I had finished it last year, but the binding was only tacked on. So for several days before bed, I put on my earphones and hit play on an audiobook and got it stitched on. I really have a love-hate relationship with this quilt, and hopefully one day I'm going to find the love in it again. I also found a couple more quilts at the studio to bind, and those are going to be off to new homes shortly. Just after Canada Day, my dog Mando had surgery. When he was a 10-month-old puppy, he broke his front leg badly. And unfortunately, when it healed, the two bones in his foreleg fused together, which has caused difficulty in his elbow. So much so that he could no longer run for long periods at a time, and often walked with a limp. After consulting with several vets and several expensive scans, Mando had surgery on his right front elbow to clean up some bone chips and spurs. And it's been a long 2 months of leashed walks and no friends. And I think we've both had enough. We are both looking forward to the cooler weather and meeting up with friends at the park for a walk in the woods. I capped off the summer with a long drive through the stunning countryside of Quebec and Maine for a week at the Gathering of Stitches retreat at the Meadowmack camp near Washington, Maine. I stumbled across this retreat when I decided I wanted to take a class with Timna Tarr, who you might remember was on my podcast last month. And on her website, she listed that she was one of the instructors for the last session in August. It was a bit far for just one class, but this retreat had 2 more instructors. Asushi Futasua, who was sharing his family's history and method of sashiko stitching, and Maura Ambrose, who was leading some natural dyeing techniques. Well, not only was Timna amazing, because of a power failure, we got a full trunk show of all her beautiful mosaic quilts. And she taught an excellent class on just a bazillion ways to make a circle. And did you see her new fabric line, Neighborhood Association, with this adorable donkey panel? Asushi also had a really informative class. It was so interesting to hear about the history of Japanese sashiko and his family's place in it, as well as his family's particular way of stitching. Not only did we learn how to hold the needle in fabric, we also learned what to look for in tools, thread, and fabric. It was funny. You could tell what cohorts had taken the class because they were all walking around doing this with their fingers, trying to build up some muscle memory. The bonus for me was learning how to hand dye with Maura Ambrose. I was on the fence about taking the class, but after being near Maura for a half an hour, she had such wonderful energy just flowing around the classroom that I found I was really quite excited to try it out. All the dyes that we used were natural, like madder, cochineal, indigo, black walnut, and more. And it was really fun experimenting with double dipping and watching the colors appear. One dye was so fresh because she just walked out into the field and grabbed a bunch of goldenrod to give us another yellow option. I am really looking forward to putting these fabrics into a quilt. So you might ask, am I a dyeing convert? I think I am, as long as somebody else is making the dyes and cleaning up afterwards. Samantha Hoyt is the brains behind this sewing retreat. The Gathering of Stitches has been running for 10 years. It has grown to 4 sessions a summer, 2 for slow fashion and 2 for slow stitching. Sam has created this warm, nourishing space for stitchers of all kinds to gather. And for many of them, this is an annual event. Well, I am back home again, and after a weekend of rest, I am ready to get back into the swing of things. I have this wedding quilt on the long arm, which I'm just about finished, and hopefully it will be off to our nephew and his wife before their 4th wedding anniversary. I hope you had a wonderful summer with family and friends. Here's looking forward to some new wonderful makes in the fall. If you need a quick gift for one of the autumn upcoming events, take a look at my Fast and Easy Gifts playlist. If you need a quick quilt project, take a check at my Stashbusters playlist. Take care, and I will see you next time.